everybody, and welcome to a very special Fun with Captain Starlight live stream. I'm Captain Starlight, and I'm coming to you live from my home planet, Planet Starlight. And boy, oh boy, am I excited for who we've got joining us today on our live stream. But before we get into that, I would first like to take this moment to pay my respects to and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the lands on which you are all streaming in from. Now, us Captain Starlights are up here on Planet Starlight, but we'd love to climb aboard our red rocket ship and blast down to the beautiful country of Australia and visit lands like Larrakia country, Gadigal country, sometimes Wurundjeri. We would love to know where you're watching from today. Maybe you can let us know in the comments, in the chat, send it through to us. And I would also like to take this time to let you know, send through any questions you have for Adam Goodes, because it is time to meet the man himself. All the way down in Gadigal country, please welcome to the stream, Adam Goodes. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Captain Starlight, how are you?
I am so excited to have you here with us today. And we've got audience members watching all across Australia that are excited too. How are you today? Where are you coming from?
I am in Kensington, so in Sydney. So I've been up here now in Sydney for 25 years, if I can believe that. Came up here when I was a 17-year-old young person looking to start a career and haven't left.
Wow, that's so awesome. 25 years is a while. That's really, really cool. I mean, Adam, you're a busy, busy guy. One of Australia's most iconic football legends. You've won Australian of the Year. You're now an amazing author. I would like to know, what have you been up to since your time with the Sydney Swans?
Oh, look, it's been 8 years now that I've been retired. It'll be 9 years in September this year, which is crazy to think. You know, life goes on and it moves pretty fast. And for me, I've been starting an own business. I've gotten married. I have 3 children now, Adelaide, Otis, and Leroy. With my business, my foundation, and being able to write some books and put them out into the market, there's not too much time for anything else, Captain Starlight.
Wow, you've just listed off so much stuff. Very, very busy indeed. Oh, and we also had a shout out from everybody watching. Hey, everybody in Meanjin country. It's great to see you all tuning in. Very exciting. We also have Randwick here from Gadigal country. Now, I know, Adam, you're no stranger to Captain Starlight. You're a good friend to us. You visited Randwick before, haven't you?
I've been in there a couple of times for a visit, and my son Otis hit his head the end of last year, and we had a long wait to see a doctor and to get some stitches put in, and we visited the room a couple of times, which was so nice to do it with my son Otis, but then also to see the other young people in there as well.
Oh, that's so awesome. Now, you have written some amazing books, and I cannot wait to get into reading a bit of one of them with you. We're going to be reading a very, very cool book, Walk With Us, in just a bit. But I was wondering, Space Computer, do we have any questions from our live audience right now? Oh, Flossie wanted to know, okay, sporting superstar, you've had to have a lot of energy for a long time. What do you eat for breakfast? What's the secret? What do you got to eat early in the morning?
Yeah, so we did a lot of early morning training, Flossie. So I'd make sure I got up at least 2 hours before I had to train, and I'd have a bowl of porridge with some banana and honey on top. These days, I'm obviously not doing all of that training. Thank goodness. I'm an old man now. But for me now, a couple of pieces of toast with some Promite on them is all I need to get me through to morning tea.
Delish. Okay, there's the secret. Oats, honey, banana, if you want to be as quick and as good as Adam Goodes. Sarah has a question for you, Adam. Sarah wants to know, what is your favorite memory when you were playing football?
Yeah, so it's a really good question, Sarah, and I really thank you for that question. And the one thing that I loved about playing football is that I got to do it with all my mates, and we got to play on some of the biggest stadiums with, sometimes 100,000 people watching. And my favorite part of football was actually when we won and we went into the change rooms, we sang our song, and then it was just the players in the change rooms, and we'd be having, some stretching, ice bars, some food, and we'd be playing music and we'd be singing songs. And it was just that short moment for about, 1 to 2 hours after a game where it was just us to celebrate before we went and spent time with our family. And I really enjoyed those moments when we just won and went into the change rooms.
Fun. Wow. It sounds very similar to what the Captain Starlights do in the Starlight Express room after winning a Mario Kart championship. We like to sing songs and get around each other too. That's really cool. Oh, this is a great question, and it'll lead us into reading a little bit of your book, actually. James wants to know, why did you want to become a writer after playing football?
Yeah, thanks, James. I love that question. I think, James, we all can become an author, a writer, because we all have stories to tell. And I really wanted to be able to tell some stories about who I am as an Aboriginal person, the culture that I'm a part of. And most importantly, I wanted to be able to read some books that really showcase to my children who they are as Indigenous people and the culture that they're part of, so that they could start to see themselves in the books that we were reading.
That is so special. That is very, very exciting, Adam. What a great reason to get into writing. Alina wants to know, what is your favorite book that you've written? You've written, how many have you written now? And which one was your favorite, Adam?
Yeah, so I've written 4 big books now, and I think my favorite was definitely the first book, and that one was Somebody's Land. And what I love so much about this book is it's telling us a little bit about how Australia was created, and introducing to our readers the word terra nullius. And I don't really explain what terra nullius means in the book. I really just plant that seed for everyone to go away and learn about what terra nullius is and how those 2 words affected Indigenous Australia and the creation of our country that we know it as today. This book's all about going for a walk with an Indigenous person on their country and learning about the environment where Indigenous Australians still live today, but how they lived a long, long time ago. And the title, Walk With Us, is actually part of the last sentence from the Uluru Statement of the Heart. And I really love that sentence in that statement, and it's asking Australia to come along and walk with us on this journey of reconciliation and helping us find our voice.
That is such a fantastic book that you've got there, Adam Goodes, and Walk With Us. Yeah, what a great sentiment. I guess we've got lots of young people and their families watching right now. What are some things that you would say to, young people of Australia and families? What can they do to help do just that? Walk with you and learn more about the history of Australia.
Well, I think the best thing, in my generation growing up, I didn't have anyone teaching me about Aboriginal people or culture. I didn't learn anything at school, and I think there's so many more resources now for our young people to learn, for our carers to be able to educate them and help them with the resources to be able to help and support us, which I think is really something that we all want, but we need the resources out there. And I think that's another big reason why I wanted to create a series and not just one book, so that we can give people the opportunity to utilize our books. So not only do we write books, we've created a whole lot of resources that you can go on our website, Welcome to Our Country website, and you can download those free resources and use that and continue the growth and learning after reading the books.
Amazing. Welcome to Our Country. That's the website, welcometoourcountry.com.au.
Yep.
Good to remember. Okay, very, very cool. Rose has a question for us. Who do you take inspiration from in your writing? Here's a good question. Is it Uncle Boris? Do you have an Uncle Boris?
Yeah, I do have an Uncle Boris, and I think what the inspiration for my writing comes from um, Indigenous people being really great storytellers, and I take inspiration. And our history is very much an oral history, so we didn't write anything down in books. You know, we would paint in caves, and we would do rock carvings to show people the way to water, food, or stories of the land that they're in. So we never really wrote stories down in a book that I'm now doing. So this is a very modern way of being able to tell stories, but it's also a way that we all learn from reading these books. So the inspiration for me is just from my many ancestors of being great storytellers, and for me to be able to continue being a storyteller.
Yeah, and storytelling can be done in so many different ways, right? Art is so important. Dance, song is so important. I can see you've got some pretty cool artworks hanging up there at your own place, Adam. That's really cool. Have they been passed down to you?
Yeah, they're all my mother's paintings that she's painted for me, which is really nice to be able to have her art up on our wall, and it shares a lot of the stories of who we are and where we come from, but also her own personal journey. She found that when she was painting, she felt a lot more connected to her culture.
That is fantastic. And then you could pass that down to your three kids as well. That's really, really cool stuff. Oh, we've got another question. This has come from some of your pals down in Gadigal country from the Randwick Captain Starlight. Hello, friends. They want to say that was a beautiful book, Adam. But the kids will want to know, what's your next book going to be?
Really good question. So we're just finalizing the words at the moment. It's very much going to be a book about, we know about the dream time, and we talk about the dream time for Indigenous people. And the dream time is really about creation stories, how the land was created, how the birds got their colors. And for me, I really wanted to tap into the dream time, the dreaming that we have, at night time when we go to bed and we sleep and we have dreams, and really bring those together, the creation, the looking forward, and how dreaming can be a big part of how we can change, the community, the landscape that we're living in now, to be more inclusive, to help each other a lot more and be a lot more kind. And I think that's the without giving away too much, that's the direction we're going with book number 5. And I'm really excited to be able to release that in November this year.
Ooh, the inside scoop. Very cool. A bit about the dream time, November. I cannot wait to see what you put out then, Adam. Oh, all of our Monash captains have weighed in as well, and everybody watching at the Monash Hospital. Hello. They want to know, oh, if you didn't play football, what other sport may you have chosen? That's a great question. Ooh.
That is a very good question. I actually would have played soccer, so for the world game football. I grew up playing soccer till I was 13, and then we moved to a small country town where there was no soccer team for me to play for. So my mum said we might as well give AFL a go. But I've been retired 8 years now, and I've been back playing the round ball game for the last 7 years. So I'm back playing soccer and absolutely love it. I've definitely missed it. My passion has always been soccer. I love watching it. I love seeing how fantastic our Matildas team is, and how that's bringing our nation together, and seeing them play in front of sold out crowds for friendly matches is just incredible. I got to watch them a couple of times last year, and I'm so proud of how football in this country is really helping a lot of our young people, but more importantly, helping a lot of our girls, really see sport and especially team sport as a great place to learn a lot of life skills, which I've definitely been the beneficiary of.
That's so true. So I guess it's safe to say you're a big Matildas fan like the rest of us in
Of
Australia.
course.
It was such a nail biter, wasn't it? I feel like the whole country down there in Australia was on the edge of their seats. It was very, very exciting. Oh, speaking of football, Jackie James has a question for you. Um, Who is your favorite player from the current Swans team?
Oh, it's a good question. I have to tell you, Jackie, I'm not a big fan. I played football for 18 years, and like I said, I've been out for nearly 9 years now, and I haven't been to the game for probably 5 years to the stadium to watch them. I watch a little bit on TV. There's one player who I didn't know this until a friend of mine who came over told me, but Errol Gould, who's a left foot. I think he wears number 20 or 21. I just watched him for like a half a game and I was like, wow, this kid can play. And then my mate was telling me, you know whose son that is? And I've known his dad for a very long time. He owned restaurants here in Sydney, which we went and attended a lot when we were playing. So that was his son. And I was like, wow, that's such a small world. And it's so good to see him be so successful, but the team, I think, is having a really good year as well.
Awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. Hey, well, speaking of the team, we have prepared a bit of a game, a little bit of a game. If you're a Sydney Swans supporter and you know the history, we're about to play a little trivia called Great Goods Ladder. And what we got to do is we've got to try and climb the ranks up into the Adam Goods trophy right at the top there by answering 3 quiz questions. What you need to do, watching at home, help me climb the Great Goods ladder by answering quiz questions about some of Adam Goods' achievements. Okay, I hope you're already in the Starlight Express rooms, watching at home on Facebook to answer some of these questions. And Adam, it's so fair play if you want to help us out with some clues. But let's get into question number 1. What have we got, Space Computer? Oh, this is a great question. How many Brownlow medals has Adam Goods won? Oh, and you'll get some extra points for guessing the winning years. If you think it's 1 Brownlow medal, hit the star emoji or send that into the chat. If you think it's 2, hit the heart, or if you think he's been a very, very, very busy person and won 37 in his 18 years of football, I don't know, I'll let you do the math on that one. Send through the rocket. It could happen, right? It could happen.
100%.
Matt thinks 2. Now I know you've at least won. I don't want to give away the answer. What was that feeling like when you won 1 or 2 Brownlow medals?
It was pretty surreal because I won that Brownlow with Nathan Buckley and Mark Rasciuto, and they were both 30 odd years of age. You know, I was 23, trying to give away the year there if I was born in 1980. And for me, you know, to be on that stage with these 2 players who are captains of their football club, and you know, I was really just starting out my career. And I used to be a Collingwood supporter as well. So Nathan Buckley was the captain of Collingwood. It was a pretty special night, and I had my mum sitting in the crowd with me as my date.
That's so special. Mrs. Goods, that's so great. And I was listening. I don't know if you were listening intently, but Adam may have given the answer away with mentioning 2 people's names. Have we got it correct? Space Computer, let's reveal the answer. If you answered with 2, you got it correct. Perfect. And Space Computer's been doing some beeping and some booping, and we found question 2 again. Let's ask it. It's a bit tricky. Who holds the highest record for games played with the Sydney Swans? I wonder, is it our guest of honor, Adam Goods? Is it Jude Bolton? Or is it Siggy the Swan? Whoa, Siggy the Swan.
It's a very good question, Captain Starlight. And Jude Bolton and I have played so many games, more games together than any other Swans combination, which is pretty crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what people's decisions come back with this.
I wonder if people are going to get us on a technicality and say maybe Siggy's been at more games. But the question is played games. So I guess that's important to remember. Are you and Jude good friends still, Adam? Do you catch up for coffee and hang out?
Yeah, he's a very good mate. I think anytime you win two premierships with anybody, we love being around each other. Obviously, we have families and jobs, but when we get an opportunity to catch up, we really love to do that and celebrate all the good things that we've been a part of, but more so the things post football that we're involved in.
That's so cool. Very cool. Okay, well, the viewers seem to think that it's you, Adam. I don't know if these questions just keep getting easier and easier, but let's find out the answer. Space computer, please. The answer was human. That's you, Adam. Adam Goods, because Siggy, honorable mention, has been on the field probably the most amount of times, but you've played a whopping 372 games. That's so many games.
So many games. Yes, it is crazy to think that I played that many games over that amount of time, and I just think of all the injuries that I had and the injuries that I played with, and I just think, wow, that's so impressive.
How many goals did Adam score? Oh, we've got a highlight here. All right, you ready?
Ooh.
We've got a video prepared. If we scroll down, perfect. We've got this video. Watch along. Have a guess right now how many goals you think Adam Goods scores in the Swans versus the Freo match in 2008. Can you remember it well, Adam?
I can remember this game very well. I remember I kicked a lot of goals that night.
You picked a lot of goals, you did, but can people guess it correct? We're actually going to show the video now, and if you get the number correct, you did it. All right, let's have a look.
Hall's in a one-on-one, and so is Adam Goods. Goods will fly. Got it. Plays on and will goal. Gives Sydney the lead. And now the long thump in the Goods direction. Got a one-on-one with Johnson. Goods, Johnson, Goods. He has 5. 3 players at full forward for Sydney, all on their own. They burst through the zone, and Goods kicks number 7. Hands up to Kennelly. Goods on the lead in the pocket. Feeds back onto it. Barry Hall gets there first. Scoops it up. Goods for number 8. For number 8.
Oh, whoa. That was pretty impressive stuff. Very, very cool. I don't know if you were counting along. We did a bit of an edit there. If you guessed 4, I counted 4 in that video. You got it correct. But the actual answer in that game, you scored 8 goals, Adam.
Yes, yes, it was very special game. We won just. Fremantle were playing very well that night, and they kicked a lot more goals than us in the third quarter, and we came back and stole it, which was very, very lucky for us for that game.
Safe to say, without you, Adam, we wouldn't have got there. So that was very impressive stuff. But very impressive, Adam Goods. That much football, 4 books. I want to ask you a little bit about your new business you mentioned earlier before. But first, I want to ask Jackie's question. Your next football career in soccer, what position do you play?
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. I play centre forward or right mid or even right wing at the moment. I think I still like to score goals, Jackie. I still like to be at the front and help the team win the best possible way I can. And I have to admit, like, the one thing I miss most about playing AFL wasn't actually the game and the training. It was actually just being around my teammates. So playing team sports again the last 7 years has really helped me, with something that I lost in retiring from football, but actually to get that back. And a big part about playing team sports is being able to train with each other, win or lose with each other, and then to celebrate with each other as well.
Nice. That's such a great answer. So true. I did want to ask you, because Australian of the Year as well, recipient, very exciting. You've also gone on to create your own organization, foundation. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I started a business, which I'm the CEO of, 8 years ago when I retired from the Swans. IDIC, Indigenous Defence and Infrastructure Consortium. We help Indigenous businesses engage with government contracts. So I've got about 140 Indigenous businesses that I'm working with nationally across the country, and working with those Indigenous business owners to grow their capability and capacity and help them win those contracts. And I also have the Go Foundation, which is a non-for-profit, which we give out academic scholarships from kindergarten all the way to university. We've got about 660 Indigenous boys and girls across New South Wales, ACT, and South Australia on scholarship at the moment. We'll be putting on another 120 towards the end of this year, and I'm really proud that we've been able to support over 1,500 scholars now, part of the program, which started 6 years ago.
That is so fantastic. The numbers are extraordinary. All of the stuff you're doing, Adam Goodes, is super phenomenal. And all the Captain Starlights salute you and the families in Australia. So we are honored. You're a very busy man, but we're very honored that you got to spend some time with us this morning, connecting to everybody watching live down in the hospitals. So we want to say thank you so much for joining us today and being such a great guest. We cannot wait for book number 5. Very exciting.
No, thank you. And thanks everyone for tuning in today. I really appreciate you coming to listen and learn. And for those of you who ask questions, thanks for those questions. It was really nice to be able to answer them for you today.
Yes. And a last minute shout out from Larrakia Country down in Darwin. They're saying, hello, Adam. Very, very cool. Well, we'll let you get on with your day, Adam. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, to the Fun with Captain Starlight live stream. And you can see more cool live streams like this on our YouTube page. And we've also now got a